All right, let's dive into this Soul Master course by Maxim Mankevich. It's based on a website you sent over, and wow, it really got me thinking about, some pretty big questions.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it really seems like you're interested in exploring like spirituality and your soul's purpose and all that.
Exactly.
So what really grabbed my attention was the way they framed it. It's
Yeah,
not just about, finding yourself, but it's about this idea of soul power.
right, right.
It's like they're saying, hey, you've got this potential inside you,
Hmm.
and here's how to tap into it.
Yeah, and it looks like Maxim Mankevich, the guy who created the course. Well, he seems to have the background to back it up. I mean, Spiegel, best-selling author, expert on success, geniuses, the whole nine yards.
Hmm. Yeah.
Even ERFL magazine named him a top trainer.
It's impressive, for sure. But what really stands out to me is that he's not just focused on, like, achieving success,
Mm.
but on really understanding what makes geniuses tick.
Mm.
And you combine that with his experience.
Yeah.
Like he trained at Greater, founded the Genie Academy. It seems like he's bringing something unique to the table.
And his reach is incredible, like over 800,000 followers on social media. And his seminars, they reach millions of people across Europe every month.
Wow.
So clearly, he's resonating with a lot of people.
It's not just the numbers, though.
Mm.
The testimonials on the website, they're from some pretty big names,
Yeah.
like Laura Seiler, Veet Lindau, even Kurt Tepperwein.
Wow, yeah, those are some heavy hitters.
Exactly. These aren't just random endorsements. These are people who are really respected in, the fields of personal development and spirituality.
I mean, so let's get down to it. What exactly does this Soul Master course promise?
Yeah, it's pretty bold, isn't it? It talks about removing inner blockades, understanding the meaning of pain, even reaching a new level of consciousness.
Whoa.
It's not just about feeling good. It's about fundamentally changing how you see yourself and the world.
That's a tall order. So how does the course actually try to deliver on these promises? What's the structure like?
Well, it's broken down into 11 modules. Each one focuses on a specific aspect of this. Soul journey they talk about.
Right.
So there are modules on understanding why we're unhappy, the power of meditation, the purpose of our souls, even one on how pain helps the soul learn.
Huh. Interesting.
It seems pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, it does. And it's all delivered through video, which is great for people who like to, learn visually.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, you get access right away, and you have it for at least 3 years.
Mm.
Seems like a pretty good deal for 247 euros,
Yeah.
especially with the 14-day money-back guarantee.
Yeah, that's a good point. They definitely seem confident in the course's value. But let's move past the logistics for a second and really dig into what people are saying about their experiences with Soul Master.
Yeah, let's hear what people are saying. The testimonials are pretty powerful, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like Robert, he said the course helped him understand his existence in a totally new way.
Wow.
He even said it sparked this thirst for more knowledge and connection. It's not just learning, it's like a transformation. And there's Silk. Her experience is fascinating. She talked about the course being like a guided journey to answer those big questions, like what does my soul really want and how can I actually live in harmony with it?
Mhm.
It's all about aligning your actions with your purpose.
Yeah, that's a powerful concept.
And then you've got Richard. He found some really practical applications.
Oh, really? Like what?
He said it helped him make better decisions in his everyday life by learning to trust his intuition and really aligning with his soul's purpose.
So it's not just about, spiritual growth in a vacuum. It's about making a real difference in your life.
Exactly.
And remember, Nils,
Yeah.
he called it a magical journey.
Uh-huh.
And he emphasized this really interesting point, that our souls are here to gather experiences, not to just suffer and judge.
Huh. That's a pretty big shift in perspective.
It is, isn't it?
And speaking of powerful experiences, Daniela's testimonial really stood out to me.
What did she say?
She mentioned the Course awakened these unknown memories within her,
Wow.
suggesting that we are so much more than just our physical bodies.
That's deep.
It is.
That actually leads us to some of the more intriguing ideas
Hmm.
that are woven throughout the website itself. Have you noticed how they talk about people who seem to effortlessly navigate life, fulfilling their desires with ease?
Yeah, it's like they've figured out some secret formula.
Yeah.
What does the Course say about how to achieve that kind of effortless living?
Well, they seem to suggest that the secret lies in understanding and aligning with what they call the laws of the universe, and of course your soul's purpose.
Right, right.
It's about tapping into that soul power we were talking about earlier.
Okay, but what exactly are these laws of the universe? Does the website go into any detail about what they are and how they actually work?
It doesn't really give specifics on the website,
Yeah.
but it does hint at the idea that these laws are what govern our existence, and that by understanding them, we can navigate life with more intention and awareness. It's like learning the rules of a game, so you can play it more effectively.
Right, right. So it's not about some mystical force controlling our lives, but more about understanding the underlying principles of how things work.
Exactly.
That makes it a lot more approachable.
Yeah, much more. And then there's this mention of the language of energy,
Oh,
and how learning to speak this language can give us the power to create change in our lives.
all right. That's where things start to get a little abstract for me. Does the website give any clues about what this language of energy actually is and how we can actually learn to speak it?
That's a fantastic question, and one that we should definitely explore further. It seems like Soul Master might delve into some more, shall we say, esoteric concepts, along with those practical tools for self-discovery.
Yeah, it definitely has my curiosity piqued. This course seems to offer this blend of self-exploration, spiritual growth, and practical application. It's not just about feeling good. It's about understanding who you are at your core and using that knowledge to actually create a better life.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the big question. How does Soul Master suggest we actually activate this soul power and line ourselves with these universal laws? What specific tools and techniques does it offer?
Yeah. Well, let's dive into that in part 2 of our deep dive.
Well, the website doesn't exactly lay it all out for us, like here's step 1, step 2, and so on.
Yeah.
But there are some clues, based on the modules and those testimonials we talked about.
Okay, so we're playing detective here. We know the course covers things like meditation, overcoming pain. Could those be some of the tools for activating soul power?
It's definitely possible. And meditation is often seen as a way to quiet the mind, connect with yourself, which could be a way of tapping into that deeper soul level.
And what about overcoming pain? Could that be about learning from those challenges and using them to grow spiritually? I mean, a lot of the testimonials mentioned the course helping them see difficult experiences in a new light.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The website specifically says, overcoming pain, the soul learns. So maybe it's about seeing those tough times, not as setbacks, but as chances for your soul to grow.
Right. It's like that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but on a soul level.
Exactly. And remember what people were saying about making better decisions and feeling more in tune with their purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe that comes from learning to trust your intuition and making choices that resonate with your soul.
So it's less about reacting to things happening around you and more about acting from this place of inner knowing.
Right?
That's pretty powerful stuff.
It is. And it brings us back to that language of energy idea. If we can learn to understand and use our own energy and the energy around us, well, maybe we can create more positive change.
Okay, but how do we actually learn this language? Does the course offer any specific practices or techniques for working with energy?
Well, the website doesn't go into a lot of detail there, but it's possible the course explores things like energy healing, visualization, or maybe even working with chakras. Those are the energy centers in your body, that are often talked about in spiritual traditions.
Right, that would make sense. Considering the focus on soul power and these universal laws, it sounds like Soul Master might blend ancient wisdom with more modern approaches to personal growth.
Yeah, it's an interesting mix.
Yeah.
Which brings up another question. What are the potential benefits of learning this language of energy?
Well, the website mentions manifesting desires and creating change. Is it really possible to shape our reality just through our energy?
That's a big one, and a lot of people debate it. Some people believe we can attract what we focus on through our thoughts and intentions. Others might say it's more about aligning yourself with the natural flow of energy in the universe and letting things unfold more easily.
So it could be about consciously creating our reality or just being more open to opportunities that are already there.
Exactly. And maybe the course touches on both approaches. Maybe it's about learning to visualize what you want, but also being aware enough to recognize and grab opportunities.
So it's like a combination of internal work and taking action. You're not just wishing for things to happen. You're actually setting the stage for them to show up.
Exactly. And that takes us back to the heart of Soul Master, this idea of tapping into your soul's power to live a more fulfilling and authentic life. It's not just about spiritual growth for the sake of it. It's about using that growth to make a positive impact in the real world.
So it's like building a bridge between the inner world and the outer world. You're working on yourself internally, but that work shows up in your actions and experiences out in the world.
Exactly. It's about becoming a more conscious and deliberate creator
Yeah.
of your own life. And that leads us to a question for you, the listener. If you could activate your soul's power, if you could tap into that inner wisdom and purpose, what would you change in your life?
What dream would you finally go after? What relationship would you really nurture? What contribution would you make to the world? It's pretty exciting to think about, isn't it? To have that kind of clarity and purpose.
It is. And while Soul Master might not have all the answers, it seems like a useful tool for exploring these questions and starting your own journey of soul discovery.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Soul Master, we encourage you to think about what really resonated with you. What sparked your curiosity? What insights did you gain?
And most importantly, what will you do today to move closer to your soul's purpose? Remember, self-discovery is an ongoing journey, but each step we take towards understanding and embracing our true selves brings us closer to a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep listening to that inner voice. Your soul might just have some incredible things to tell you. That's a big question, right? Like, it's easy to talk about this stuff, but how do we actually use it in our everyday lives?
Well, the website gives us some hints. Like, remember those testimonials about people making better decisions and feeling like they had a stronger sense of purpose? Maybe that's soul power in action.
So it's like, instead of just going through the motions, you're making choices that really align with who you are deep down.
Right, and that ties into the whole effortless living thing. When you're in tune with your soul's purpose, things just seem to flow better. It's not that you won't face challenges, but you approach them differently, with a new perspective and a stronger sense of inner guidance.
That makes sense. But one thing that's been on my mind, the website talks about fulfilling desires and creating change through this language of energy. Are they saying we can actually manifest things just by thinking about them?
Ah, that's a tricky one. It depends on how you interpret it. Some people might take it literally, like we have the power to shape reality with our thoughts and intentions. Others might see it as more about aligning yourself with the energy of the universe and letting things unfold naturally.
So it could be about actively creating our reality, or just being more aware of opportunities that are already there.
Exactly. And the course might offer tools for both. Maybe it's about learning to visualize what you want, while also being open to recognizing and seizing opportunities as they come up.
So it's like a balance of internal work and taking action. You're not just sitting back and wishing for things, but you're also actively creating the right conditions for them to happen.
Precisely. And that brings us back to that core message of Soul Master. Tapping into your soul's power to live a more fulfilling and authentic life. It's not just about spiritual growth for its own sake. It's about using that growth to make a real difference in your world.
It's like connecting the dots between your inner world and your outer world. You're working on yourself inside, but that work shows up in how you act and what you experience in the real world.
Exactly. It's about becoming a more conscious creator of your own life.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Soul Master, think about what really stood out to you. What sparked your curiosity? What new insights did you get?
Yeah, and most importantly, what are you going to do today to get a little closer to your soul's purpose? Remember, self-discovery never really ends. But every step we take towards understanding and embracing who we truly are brings us closer to a life that's truly fulfilling and meaningful.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep listening to that inner voice. You never know what amazing things your soul might have to tell you.